Peasant Productions presents the math of ESP, why it works even if you don't believe in it. Okay, I was just talking about the fact that you have to open yourself up to the miracle. You have to have a pure heart in yourself of why you are asking for the miracle. And then you have to apply the idea that, if you are asking for a miracle, you really can't set any rules on how it gets delivered to you, other than the fact that it has to be something viable in the situation. I mean, if you are asking for, okay, the body of your family member is there, they're full of cancer, and you really need a huge bit of miracle to cure them of cancer. It's a kid, okay? It's not 90-year-old grandma. It's a little 5-year-old kid. It's really going to tear everybody in the family apart if this kid doesn't get a cure for their cancer. If you demand the only way that cure can happen is Mommy Mary comes down and you have this this Virgin Mary image, of a being step out into the light, and boom. I'm not going to say it ain't going to happen, but you are putting such a huge limitation on things that, yeah, it does kind of put a problem on the issue, okay? And again, this is where I'm talking about how religions want you to believe that's what you have to have. The reality that you can ask for a miracle for this person to be healed, and somehow miraculously, yes, their entire cancer will go into remission. You will never see a vision of a godly person standing in front of them, pouring energy on them or anything like that. But you also didn't, do anything other than give them healthy food and clean food and what little medicines you could afford, and it goes into remission, then yeah, you're having a miracle, folks. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that kind of a thing. Even if you want to believe that the Virgin Mary didn't appear, but the Virgin Mary reached out and touched and made it happen. There's nothing wrong with that. You didn't need a vision of the Virgin Mary in front of you doing all this stuff, okay? And if you don't make that limitation to it, then yeah, you are accepting the possibility it can happen, okay? In wanting your miracle, like I say, there's a variety of things that are involved, okay? And as I was saying, before, you have just as we were using this example and stuff. Here it is, right there. There's my miracle thing. Okay, you've got your mindset. Okay, you've got the idea of the miracle that you need. Okay. Whether it's cure for cancer, it's money to pay bills, it's a special, it's little Jamie or Johnny or Mary Beth getting accepted into a really decent college that's going to give them a good education to get a good job. Okay, you've got that idea for the miracle. You then have to put the energy behind it, which is where that pure heart comes in. Okay. There's also the idea of the physical body putting the energy. You can ask for a miracle and never do anything but pray. You can also ask for a miracle and get your butt out the door and walk around and meet somebody, okay? That makes a difference. I go outside my little apartment here and sit on the street and watch people going up and down, and I go out there numerous times. I have learned the pattern of business in this town, so I kind of adhere to the social, like I was saying in the other video, this is the social structure I got to deal with. Okay, I have a social structure here in this town that Monday and Tuesday are kind of the slow days. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday are the big days for the tourists to come into town and people to sell stuff. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, those 4 days, I guarantee you, I'm out there on the street just as many hours as I can keep myself out there. I cook up food and I carry it out and I put it out into the hallway because I'm one person and I can't just, put my stuff out there and walk away. I might walk away, I might risk it and come run in here and use the bathroom real quick and, take a quick pee and go back out. But I can't run in here, cook food while my stuff is out there, so I take food out with me. And I sit out there looking like any other Mexican, eating my tortillas and cheese and beans, and then the little ceviche guy up 50, back not even 50 feet away, 30 feet away from me, maybe once or twice a month, I'll have him come and, I'll buy a ceviche off of him or something like that. It depends. Am I making good money? Well, I'm going to share it around town because I know that small town thing, even though this is 50,000 people here, when you realize how many people here are all family, okay, I'm on a big block, okay, a big city block. As near as I can figure from the street crossing north-south here, my street runs east-west, to the street running north-south at the other end. It's everybody in this block is either directly related as family or related by marriage, okay, with the exception of a couple of businesses, okay. It's very amusing to realize that, the guy that owns the store is married to the sister of the woman that is my manager, and they have those couple of buildings there, and the guy that owns my building is the brother to the man is the brother of the sister of the person in the store, and they are related to the people across the street. I haven't quite figured out if they're cousins or something, but there's all this interrelation in a whole city block, So, it is all, I have to work small town type business, which is very slow and very polite. You don't run out there and just ram something into somebody's face. Now, a couple of blocks over in the actual center of town, where the high rate of tourism is, yes, the people there are a little more pushy because you have tourists walking by, and you got 30 or 40 stalls that are all selling the same product on a single block, and each one of them is trying to get somebody to stop and buy something, and they're hoping you like the little lady or the cute little girl or the nice guy or whatever happens to catch the person at the right time and sell it. But it's a little different philosophy over there, okay? But there's also licenses required to actually sell in the plaza, so I can't go sell on the plaza. So I sell on the street outside my door here, and I try and sell to the businesses more than the tourists, okay? It works kind of both ways. I have tourist traffic, and I have the actual community that I'm trying to sell to. So I'm working several angles in a single community. I'm working several angles on the internet. So I am giving the spiritual realm as wide a range as I can to help me keep an income coming in. Okay? I am not trying to limit them at what they can do. And again, like I said, I might get pissy. Like I said, there's this young lady in town that they have kind of, the spiritual realm has kind of explained to me that an awful lot of the crud that's been falling on my face and in my lap is because that's more or less the reason they called me here, is that this young lady asked something of spiritual realm. I don't want to get into it really deeply, but she asked something of the spiritual realm, which is why they brought me here more than anything else. other than the fact that, yeah, they needed me to see the arrogance of human beings here in a spiritual town and understand that, yeah, you know, these people are bad, okay, in that sense. You know, when you're selling product, you know, to people coming to, you know, to be in a saintly town, and you're basically telling the saint to stuff it up their butt at the same time, you insult the gods pretty good that way. But needless, and again, there's where that pure heart is, okay. And yes, that young lady, she is in societal norms with what's going on around her. There is issue with me, between the gods and me, about the fact that she's basically walking on the fence post itself, as to whether or not she was ever pure enough to have them bring me here and treat me badly. So yeah, you know, that's an argument between me and the God. That's not an argument between me and the person. Okay, the person has to treat me decently and like a human being, or I don't do abusive relationships. Okay, end of statement there. If I have to be forced into an abusive situation, it better be something like I was like when I was thrown in prison and I didn't have any choice when I got out. But, you know, I'm not going to... I got a broken arm for marrying a woman that was abusive, okay? She didn't break the arm, but, you know, technically she had it arranged. The court system did it. But I'm not keeping a limit on anything, therefore possibilities exist, and I am also keeping my eyes open and being out there available to it. So if you want a miracle, you got to put the energy into it. You've got to actually work at being out there and having something nice happen for you. Okay? You have to put the motion into it, and of course you have to have the faith that it's going to actually happen, and then you end up with the miracle. So that's why I say you have to learn to think for yourself. You have to be inclusive of as much possible data as you possibly can to let yourself understand what you're trying to achieve in having a miracle. Then you can actually have a miracle. You don't need me. You don't need the guy down the street. You don't need the preacher. You need your pure heart, your intent, your focus, and your desire to connect with the spiritual realm, which is all around you. Okay?